Hey guys, how's it going? I just got back from TabletopCon and I was pleasantly surprised with how many great games are coming out of Australia through Australian designers. And I thought, why don't I share that with you guys? My impressions. I managed to get some playthroughs of these games. So I thought I'd highlight the ones that I really enjoyed. Now, I didn't get to play every single game, but these were the ones that I got a chance to play and really liked. All right. So let's talk about the first game on the list. And this one's Nimbus, and this is by Neural Forge, and the game designer is Aidan Zaladouni, and I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Now, in Nimbus, it reminds me a lot of chess with pyramids, right? And the idea is that you are trying to destroy your opponent's king, okay? Which is their like primary piece in the middle of their pyramids. And the way that you do this is similar to chess, but more interesting. There's a bit of a twist. Your pieces can move in different ways, like chess again. I'm saying chess a lot, but after you perform a move, you flip one of your pyramids over. And what movement your pyramid is able to do is determined by the color that's on top of the pyramid. So for example, a red one allows you to move in a straight line, and the blue one allows you to move through the corners, right? After you perform a move, you flip another one over, and all of a sudden, a piece that was perhaps in gridlock, couldn't move, is now got new options available to it. This is really, really interesting. I think this is really cool because it requires a lot of forward planning, and it was like, I did not do well in this game, but I can definitely appreciate what this game is trying to do. And the production of this game was really awesome. They described it to me as like a coffee table type of game. Nothing you want to hide away on your shelf. You want this out and about so people can see it and jump in and play it. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. And they did have these templates as well to help you with the movements, because some of them are a bit obtuse once, you know, when you start playing, and then they start to sort of click after that. And I thought that was really cool. That was very helpful. And these templates, they're looking at upgrading and making them more deluxeified using brass and stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of these, in this game or any of the other ones that I'm going to be talking about, make sure you visit the description down below. You can find out more about these games. All right, the next game I want to talk about is Exit Strategy. Now, the first time I looked at this game, it didn't look like much, but it surprised me, really. The idea is that you have a meeple that starts opposite you on the board, and you're trying to get it to your side of the board, right? You're trying to get to cross the board to the finish line, basically. And it's a race. You're trying to get there first. Now, on your action, you can either just move your meeple one space, and this in any direction, so long as it's still touching that space, right? And that's one action, but the second action is that you can create a wall, and this is where the game gets interesting. These walls are like two-sided, so they block two possible paths, and the rules with these walls is that you can place them anywhere on the board, except they can't overhang the edge of the board, and you can't place them in a way that would prevent people from getting to the exit. You can only delay them. Now, on my first play of this game, I thought, well, I just want to progress my meeple. I'm not worried about building walls. I just want to see what happens. So I just moved my meeple, and I got very close to the end, and then a wall came up. Okay, I'll just try and walk around that wall. And then another wall came up, and then I realized that I had no control over those walls because by not placing walls myself, my opponents had full control over the terrain around me. So it made it very difficult now to navigate that space. And it was very interesting. it started off as such a calm game. We were all heading towards our exit point, and then once the walls started coming down, it became chaotic. And it was really fun. I did not expect this. Very interesting game. And oh, by the way, Exit Strategy is by Bigger Worlds Games, and the designer is Martin Brandl. I hope I said that right as well. The next game I want to highlight on this list is one that I've actually done a review for on this channel, and this is Cosmos Empires. And this is another one that's been made by Bigger Worlds Games and Martin Brandl as well. Now, in this game, this is an engine building game where you're trying to build a tableau of cards, and much in the same way that you would be in Space Base or anything like that, you are rolling dice to try and activate the cards in front of you to gain resources and buy more cards. The interesting thing here is that the cards have abilities themselves, so they can give you extra actions and stuff like that, or you could be spending actions to manipulate your dice. So some of the annoying things about those games like Space Base is you're rolling those dice, and sometimes that combination just never comes up for you. Well, this game really fixes that problem because you can spend your actions to really manipulate that dice, and there are also cards that you can purchase, which, you know, fair enough, are not super efficient at giving you credits when you roll their number, but they really help you mitigate that dice. And that's a really interesting thing about that game. So if you want to check that one out, Cosmos Empires, really cool one. Okay, the next game I want to talk to you about is For God's Sake. And this one's designed by Delta Phase Games by Eris Allah. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Okay, so this game is still in production, so it's not available yet, but make sure you're looking out for it, okay? Because this is a really interesting game. In this one, it's a drafting game where you'll be, instead of picking one card and passing the rest along, they've innovated this sort of mechanic to rather discard the ones you don't want. So you start with your hand of 7 and you're getting rid of 3 to pass on to the person next to you. And then you're getting rid of 2 and then 1. And you're trying to curate a hand that will work best for you. So what are you trying to do with these cards? You have 2 possibilities available to you. You can either use them to pray to the gods, or you can build monuments that you can worship gods with, right? So there are different types of monuments that you can purchase, and you have to set collect to be able to purchase them. So for example, if I want to build a monument to Zeus, I'm going to have 4 Zeus cards, right? For example. Now, once I purchase this card, it will be in front of me, and then on future rounds, I can use my cards instead to discard to that monument to get points. Now, the more that I have of a particular monument, the bigger payoff that I'm going to get for all the Zeus cards that I discard to it. This creates a really interesting dynamic where people do not want to pass you particular cards. And another thing I didn't mention is that you can actually determine in which which direction that you're going to be passing cards. The first player with the first player token determines which way the cards are going to go. And this is really cool for a couple of reasons. Like I said, you can determine, oh, I don't want to pass my good cards over there because I know he's hunting a particular type of card. But also, if you're trying to build monuments, one of the end conditions of the game is that if 3 piles are emptied, that's the end of the game. Well, if I can see a pile is starting to empty out and the person on my left is really looking to build more of those, well, I can actually I can make the direction go in the other way and deny him buying that if someone else manages to get it first, which is a really interesting concept. I really like this one. And for me, this was my choice of the entire day. I really like this one. So if I could choose one game to take home with me, it would have been this one. So I'm really looking forward to this one coming out in the near future. Well, again, if you're interested in any of these games, I'm going to have some links down below so you can check them out. And yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribing always does help. I'm looking for 200 subscribers. If I can make that happen, then we're gonna see my top 20 games of all time. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure you subscribe. All right, guys, thank you. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.